I'm Reshma Sebastian. Some of you might know me, some of you might not. I'm an engineer, a model, a mother of a 2-year-old, and some people call me an influencer, and I still don't know why they call me that. But I stand here today as a woman, as a young girl who was bullied her whole life for the way she talked, for the way she was, who had never had confidence for anything, let alone standing here in this platform on a TEDx platform. It's more than a dream, more than a distant dream for me. So let me talk to you. Let me tell you how I reached here, what helped me. India, as a country, we celebrated 75th year of independence, right? And we talk a lot about independence almost for a long time now. But what do you truly understand by the term independence? As a basic human being, what do you understand by the term independence? By definition, in theory, it means being free and not controlled by another person. Now let me ask the women out here, how many of you can merely purchase an item without the permission of another person, let alone take a life decision or in your own terms? How many of you can? Very few, you can say very few here. But most of the time, the answer is a simple no. Why? That's the reason why we're talking about financial independence, and that's the reason why that term comes into picture. What do you understand by that? What do you understand by financial independence? Is it having a job and earning for yourself? Not really. It's about being responsible for your own expenses without depending on anyone else, be that your family, be that your spouse, or anyone else for that matter. And it doesn't apply, it applies to anyone, not just women alone. Be that regardless of your gender or social economic situation, anyone having a financial stability gives them a confidence, gives them a sense of security, respect. We all need that, right? But why are we talking a lot about this topic among the female population? Because for our whole life, as women, we are trained and taught to be ideal daughter, ideal wife, and ideal mothers who are not supposed to have an opinion of their own, who are not supposed to have a voice of their own. And the sole reason behind that is because they can't. They have to depend on another person for their basic needs. And women around, I mean, for the most of the time, what I have seen is that they are taught to rely on the men in their life. By persuading, or for the basic need, and by persuading women to seek permission for each and everything in their life, the men usually have the upper hand, or a grip in the relationship. And I have read somewhere that almost 77% of women in India are subjected to domestic violence, and they don't talk about it. They keep mum about it. They don't talk about it. And 1 out of 3 women are likely to be subjected to physical, emotional, or sexual abuse, and yet they decide to stay in that situation. They decide to stay in that situation. Have you ever wondered why they do that? Why are they staying in that situation? Because they're afraid. Because of the fear of the fact that, where will I go? What will I do? Who will take care of me? The change in that ideology is what we need. Think what an income can do in that situation. An income will give them a confidence to get out of the situation, to get out and have a voice of their own and say and think, I can be the provider for myself, I can be the provider for myself and my family. And that change is where the change happens. And comes to a new trend in the marriage market, where the women's education is merely a market value for the marriage market. And the first thing, and I know from my experience and many out here, the first thing after marriage they are asked to do is leave your job. Why? Because they very well know that having a job, having an income means they will have an opinion, and that person and that female can influence the next generation, their children. And that obviously will shatter the age-old system of patriarchy and gender bias, which so many people here are trying to protect. I still remember my mother. She always used to tell me, study well, get a job, because she knew without a job, I'll never have an existence. Because she never did one. She never had a voice, but she made sure that I had one, her daughter had one. And I'm forever grateful for that, and I'm forever thankful for that, because Without that, I would have never understood the importance at that young age. And without that, I would have never reached where you see me right now. And now we are talking about why do we need financial independence. Come to how can you reach that state? How do you attain that state? How? You might have a job, you might not have a job, but we all have a skill, right? We have a skill, we can learn a skill which we can monetize and convert to an income. The one thing, if you have seen, if you noticed, during a lockdown days was a lot of women, a lot of places, a lot of households, when the main income was shattered with the lockdown, they found a way on learning the basic skills into an income. That starts from the baking. I mean, I have seen many people with a home baking in their social media pages to corporate tables, and they learn to survive. Okay, that shows how much survival skills we have despite the situation we are in. We always blame the situation we are in, but we have that skill in ourselves, we just don't have the confidence for that. Now, we have an income. Then what? An income should never be about expenses. Yes, we earn to cover our expense. Then what? You're saving. Your saving is your support system. Your confidence is your saving. And again, if you want to grow beyond that, invest. Always invest. If you are aiming for something, because without investing, your savings is a dead money. So always, always, always think about, be smart about how you can grow on your own without an external assistance there. So now, for all the women out here, when I'm talking about financial independence, it can mean a different thing, right? It can be your self-confidence. It can be a path, for forging your own identity. We all need an identity. How do you get an identity, right? Then towards a life, it can build a life that you truly decide. What you truly decide, not for someone else there. Dream is something that keeps us alive. And financial independence gives us hope to that dream, hope to dream, and wings to fly, and what? And have the courage to chase that dream. There is nothing wrong about dreaming, but you yet fight for it. You have to work for it. Because at the end, you have to understand it's just you who are responsible for your life. You are the savior for your life. So you have to find a way to sustain yourself there. Many people here, not here, who are listening to this, having a financial independence is the first step towards your self-realization, towards your dream. And without dreams, you are nothing. Okay? From a strong woman comes a stronger generation. So let us be the reason for a stronger generation and a stronger being. Thank you.